Hey guys, welcome to Run, Hike, Survive. I'm Steve Shaw, and this is my wife,
Fiona.
Fiona. Hey, guess what? We just ran our first 100-kilometer race. We did it over the span of 52 hours, but really it was about 48 hours. It was a little bit shy with messing around, and we did a lot of driving back and forth. So we ended up hitting 100 kilometers. We're going to talk about that in this video. What we learned, some of the crazy things we experienced, and just random thoughts. Before we get into the topic, if you have any questions or comments, drop them down below. The best topic ideas will turn into videos just like this. All right, we ran 100 kilometers, right?
Yes, well, 115.
And prior to this, she ran 115, I ran 100. And I did it to celebrate my 52nd birthday. I said to her, I don't know, a few months ago, hey, for my 52nd birthday, would you like to run 52 hours? And she said, oh, that sounds like a good idea.
But secretly, I was thinking, can we do something more exciting?
Right. Maybe 52 brewery stops would be a little bit better, okay? That'd be one hell of a weekend. But
Yes.
we've been running for about 160 days and, hardcore. We've been running before that, but we're running about 2 hours a day. And the previous best, you've run two 50Kers
250Ks.
and I've run a 50K. And, we basically, the challenge was to run at least a 50K on back-to-back days, and we did it. So what did before we talk about what we learned, what did we experience along the way? What were some of the things that we ran into, some of the fun things, unusual things? How about the imaginary dog, the first night?
When I was running in the dark and I was all alone and I thought that a chair was a dog and I turned around and ran the other way because I thought it was chasing me and I had to keep checking.
Yeah, we were doing some night running at Miller Ecological Park in Lebanon, Ohio. And it's just bright enough where you can run without a light, but really, really dark. I mean, well, you can see the trail. And she saw an imaginary dog.
It was a big dog.
Yeah, I saw, from a distance, I saw something that looked like a white shirt during the night run. And as we got closer, I kind of pulled it over like this because I thought it was moving towards us.
You thought you saw a ghost.
No, I thought I saw a person smoking a cigarette, and it was just a sign. We also got kind of out of our head a little bit, and we saw a dead squirrel that we kept running past, Mr. Dead Squirrel, and we were actually talking to it quite a bit to keep our minds active. I think
It was 3 o'clock in the morning, baby.
The worst part for us was night running. Would you say that?
Yeah, I thought I'd do better, but actually at 3 o'clock in the morning when you're running and you've had 0 hours of sleep, you kind of go a bit freaky and zombie-like.
Coming into this, we thought that the night running would be the best, that we would just be able to do a lot of mileage in the dark and the cool. But honestly, it was amazingly challenging. It was a big struggle for us.
Because you couldn't really eat as much through the night because it makes you feel sick because you're usually asleep. And then you couldn't physically move as well because you're normally asleep and you're so fatigued.
And the mental thing, we ran 3 times at night, 10K, 8K, and the last one 5K. And all of them were just like, it was just mental torture. The funny thing is, like, on the first night, we ran 8 and 10K during the night. And when the sun came up and we got to run in the morning, we ran like another 15K. And the second day in the morning, we ran 20K.
I ran 25.
Yeah, so we actually found that we just enjoyed the cool morning runs a lot better. Food intake. What was your experience with food intake? What did you like to eat? What did you struggle to eat? And, different times of the days, we wanted different things.
That's true. After the morning run, I would have a humongous burger with lots of salad, meat, and cheese. And then I ate boring old plain potato chips that nobody eats.
Yeah, we kept a wide variety of food. We kept sausages, hamburgers already cooked in a crock pot. We kept a variety of chips. We kept a variety of carb sources, potato salads, etc. And it was really different at night. I didn't want anything sweet.
I didn't really eat but a couple of protein bars, but I did eat a whole box of chocolates in 52 hours.
Yes, you did eat a large box of chocolates in 52 hours. The main challenge for me with food was I would go out and burn 1,500 calories on a run and then come back, and about the max I could eat was about 1,000 calories. So I was always running in a deficit. And if you ate any more than that, you would go out on the trail and feel really full and bloated.
Oh, you can't run with a big wobbly belly and just fall like you fall, and everything comes back up.
Yeah, so it's easy when you look at it from an outsider point of view to say, I'm just going to eat a lot more. But when you're running and taking short breaks, you literally can't eat enough without feeling super full. And we do not want to go out on long runs feeling full.
No, so over the morning before we did those huge runs, I think I had 5 of those tiny little combos and 5 chocolates. That's all I had.
I mean, one of the biggest things we run into in endurance running is our stomachs, especially during the heat, but really at random times. What happens is the blood pools in your skin to cool you down, or it's not in your stomach. It's trying to cool you down, or it's in the muscles trying to support the muscles, and your stomach can get upset. And eating a lot of food and having stomach issues is just absolutely not fun.
No, you don't want stomach cramps or sick or vomiting or anything like that.
So what I learned from this whole experience was every time I thought I was absolutely done, I had more left to give. I woke up on the first morning after a couple night runs, and I literally could not walk to the phone. I couldn't. I thought, oh my God, how are we going to do this? How are we going to finish this? And then I went out and ran 15K. And you struggled with blisters the whole way.
I had 4 of my under my toenails had blisters for the whole time. But once you start running, you kind of forget about that, because my quads and the first night were so sore that I was doing the shuffle run for the night runs. But then by the second day, they just went back to normal. They loosened up. It was really weird.
Yeah, I picked up blisters on my little toes, and one thing I learned was that you can run through them. I mean, a heel blister would be brutal and would be something that would cause an extreme amount of pain. But we would just start running with blisters on our toes, and after about 15 minutes, you don't feel them anymore, and you just had to suck it up and drive through them.
I just popped them, put alcohol swabs on them, put tape on them. Then I come home, I'd have blisters under my blisters. Do the same thing again. They stung so bad. They would throb and you couldn't sleep. But yeah, once you start running, you forget. The pain just disappears.
And, I think mentally, the long distance is harder than the physical for me. Would you not agree?
What do you mean, knowing that the long distance we've got to do, or?
Well, like when you're out there and you, like our last 20K, and you realize, I got to do 20K today, and then you hit 5, and you're like, I got to do 15 a day. You can start thinking about numbers, and mentally you're just tired of moving. Your body can handle it, but you're just tired of moving.
I was more excited because I was on the countdown, and I was more like, oh my gosh, I only have this much to go, and then I've got this many hours to go. I can do more than what I expect because I have more time.
We went out and I went out and got 18K, and then the first night, the run after that, we did like 7, and we had to get back in before it got dark. And then after the first night run, I was at 30. Yeah. And I was thinking, there's no way I'm going to do this, because it was just hard to play catch up on the miles. I thought I was going to fall short. And the second night run, we went out, and I did 5K, and I was so dizzy, I felt like I was going to fall over. I think from lack of sleep. That we had 20K left to go, and you were getting a little bit nervous.
I was getting very frustrated at you because I thought, how are you going to do 20Ks in the morning before midday when you can barely run 5Ks now? And
Right.
I was like, you ain't gonna do this. And you told me, you said to me, I'll regret this if I don't do this. And I'm like, okay. So when we were running in the morning, I thought, no matter if you're dying, I'm gonna push you and make you do it because I know you want to.
Yeah, I mean, my times were never really that great. I mean, I always ran a little bit more quickly in training than I did during the 52 hours. But at the end, the last 10K, I think I could walk as fast as I could run. That's literally true.
Yeah, but I didn't go. You can't go out faster like you're going for 2 hours. You can't go out like that because you know that you have to last the time. You can't go silly in the beginning. You have to just go a comfortable pace that you know you're going to make it.
When you enter something like this, and I have at least five marathons under my belt this year, and you have the same number. 3 of those were ultra marathons. The one thing we've learned, and we've done a lot of other races and runs, at least a half marathon. The one thing you learn is you never know what to expect. Sometimes you get sick. Sometimes you get blisters. Sometimes you get quad cramps. Sometimes the heat just kicks your butt. Sometimes the trail itself is so challenging it kicks your butt. So you just never know what to expect. And coming into this, I was hopeful, but with all the possible variables, I literally thought something physically was going to give way from the overuse.
I did too. I was scared I'd get sick because it was so hot on the first day, and I did 25Ks, but you know what? I don't know if this is good or bad, but I did not even take a single electrolyte drink, and I'm thinking I didn't get sick because it didn't mess me gut up.
Yeah, sometimes, we've been trying to focus on electrolytes and, some carbs, during the runs. And we're finding that they tend to make us a little more sick or nauseous than eating, like, say, when I eat combos, which are my favorite thing to eat while I'm running, or a protein bar, I feel a lot better.
That's exactly, I'm better with food, like real food. So I just didn't take any electrolyte drinks, went, nah, stuff this. I just drank water and ate. And when we got home, I had that salad and meat on a hamburger and just had that. I had good food and I felt fine.
So the reason why we did this obviously was not just for my birthday, but we have a 100-mile run attempt coming up in May of 2020. So we did this just to see, as a test, what we could learn and what we could learn from it and prepare for the 100-mile or the 96-hour race. So what did you learn, and what are you going to change as far as your strategy for the 96-hour race?
I'm better in the morning, so I'm going to try to do my big lumps in the morning, like my big Ks in the morning like I did normally, and then have a good evening run too, because I'm used to evenings. Do a little bit during the night, but don't stress and don't push so much, and get a good amount of sleep kind of from midnight till morning.
Yeah, we found that if we got a good solid 3 hours of sleep right before sunrise, we were ready to rock. I think the biggest thing we learned was that we're going to do a big morning run, and then late in the evening, maybe an hour or two into the dark, we're going to do a big night run and squeeze some Ks in between those two and try to do 90% of what we can do basically between 5 a.m. and 10 to 11 p.m. And then eat and get some rest in between.
And if I got a good 4 hours sleep, I'm pretty sure I could just repeat that for 4 days.
Yeah, so the strategy is, like, we know we can do 50 Ks on back-to-back days. What we're hoping to do is get at least 50K the first day for their 96 hours, 50K the second day, and then we got 230s to knock out. So if we can do 50, 50, 40, then we just have a little easy
Might get more.
half marathon the last day.
Might get more.
Yeah. All right, guys, that's it. I appreciate you watching. That's our first 100-kilometer run. And if you have any questions or comments, drop them down below. Please subscribe to the channel. We appreciate you following us, and have a great day.
We did survive.
We did. I think we survived.